What is that?
Keep looking up.
I see you do this to some people and they do not like it. Ah!
Just bite your teeth down, hold them together, and let your belly really relax. What's going on out there, YouTube land? Today we're with a two-time WWE Hall of Famer, legend, member of the Kliq, DX, NWO, you name it, he's been there, he's done it. He's got his rings being the WWE Hall of Fame, the Lightning Kid, the Cannonball Kid.
You know about all that?
The Kid, X-Pac, the 1, 2, 3 Kid. Syxx with 2 X's.
Yes, and a Y.
And a Y. We came out to work with him a little bit. He's pretty darn healthy, all things considering, all the crazy matches he's had throughout his life. But, you know, every chance we get to take care of the legends, we got to do that. So, you know, Sean, thanks again for the hospitality.
Oh, thank you.
And he does have a YouTube channel. He hasn't posted in a little bit. Make sure you go subscribe to that, too. He might bring the podcast back, I'm assuming, one day. Maybe not. He'd be on the lookout, too. Autobiography's probably coming soon, so I'm sure he's going to have some really awesome stories from the road that he probably has saved and kept from you guys that are going to definitely open up your eyes and, you know, some insight into the industry, some insight into the way that his personal mind works as well, some of the trials and tribulations, the ups and downs. And
yeah, and just, you know, it's kind of a comeback story, too, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So let's rock and roll, guys. Go ahead and tuck your chin down. All right, Sean, so what got you into wrestling?
I used to see it a little bit on TV, and then I went to it live, and I was immediately hooked, and I knew that's what I was going to do. And I had a one-track mind from that point on. I was going to be a pro wrestler. That was my dream, and so that's what I did.
And you made it happen.
Yeah, I had a vision, you know, I visualized.
And early on, you trained with the Malenkos, is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dean Malenko and his father, the great Boris Malenko.
Okay. Tell me about your original nicknames.
Lightning Kid?
Yeah, the Kid, the Lightning Kid.
Yeah.
Like, who came up with that? Was that you?
That was me, and it was like because I was a Dynamite Kid fan.
Okay. Yeah, there's not a lot of people that have wrestled through so many generations like you have, you know, and still being pretty young, you know.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about, like right now you're younger than Vince was when he first started taking like real matches.
His first matches, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was in his mid-50s, and he looked amazing, but.
Okay. So you break in the new generation. So talk to me about what that experience was like. What was it like being in the organization, and then, you know, kind of working your way in and making friends and you know, getting the bookers and everybody to see your talent?
Well, I mean, yeah, when I first came into WWE, it was the new generation. It was the start of that.
Right.
Right? Like Hulk was just leaving as I was coming. And, you know, so we were building a lot of that from scratch. And we had some people that would, you know, Roddy would come back now and then and, you know, things like that. But, you know, we were building a whole new crew. And, you know, it was tough. Business was rough for a while there.
And we were talking about that earlier, you know, it was right around the big guy scandal. So it was actually perfect timing for somebody that was, you know, an explosive, like, jumping, kicking wrestler like yourself to come in. You know, maybe if it was 2 years earlier, it would have been a little harder to break in.
Yeah, probably so.
You know, and you guys.
I was surprised when they gave me the call in the first place.
How did that? So, you know, you had a great match with Bret. I think it was '94.
Yeah, '94.
One of the best. But before that, like the origin of the 1, 2, 3 Kid, obviously, is that, you know, at the time a pretty dramatic upset. You know, you beating Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Buddy yours, R.I.P.
Yeah, my brother, my big brother.
Yeah. And he kind of helped put you over and kind of get your feet in there, yeah?
It's the most single, and there's not even a close second. It's the single most important moment of my career.
Yeah, DDP talks about that with Bacho, you know, in your case, that was kind of the same thing where you have a legend that's like, hey man, I see skills, I see the future in you, you know, and is willing to kind of put you over that way. So what did that mean to you? Is that...
I had...
Were you just in shock, kind of?
Well, just getting the call, like, hey, we want to... Sergeant Slaughter called me. And he even said, hey, this is Sergeant Slaughter from World Wrestling Federation.
And you're like, yeah, right.
Well, somehow, no, I figured it was him.
Okay.
But somehow I spaced out the part where he said World Wrestling Federation. And he's like, yeah, we're having TV tapings the day after WrestleMania. And I'm like, who the hell's having TV tapings day after WrestleMania? You know, I'm still not putting two and two together, right? WWE WWF's calling me.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, he goes, yeah, we want to bring you in. And it finally hits me, and I go, oh my God. I had a tryout with WCW, like probably a year earlier.
Uh-huh.
And it was great. I had a great match. And I would have gotten hired, but they switched bosses like the next day, the very next day. And so, yeah, I wasn't their idea, so I wasn't coming in. So I was kind of bummed out a little bit. And I had New Japan finally was going to bring me in. And as soon as New Japan hires me, WWE calls me. So then I had a couple of different choices there. All of a sudden.
And so you jump at the tag team division, you're kicking ass there, you turn a little bit heel as well.
Yeah. Before I left, yeah.
Yeah. You've gotten this question a lot. Talk me through the process of in the very early days before the Monday Night Wars even sort of really had kicked off, or maybe I guess it was right at the beginning of it, the process of switching, switching companies, because you obviously dreamed of going to WWF.
Yeah.
You get the phone call. Talk me through the process. What went into that? What was your thought process at the time?
I was just kind of, everything happened on that. I don't know, accident, but.
They were paying well?
Well, bottom line, yeah. And, I don't know if any of us ever would have jumped, but I had this random meeting with Barry Bloom out here. Barry Bloom's our agent. He's representing a lot of big stars right now, I think in AEW. I think he has Goldberg still, Jericho. Anyways, I was his first, after Jesse Ventura, I was Barry's first client. I went and met with him, but I just wanted to get in a few movies. And then, he brought up WCW to me, and then we called Scott, and that just kind of started the ball rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, my contract, WCW, was 180 days, which is a lot, actually, but it's still nothing close to the 250 or 300.
Yeah, so all the wrestlers today owe a debt of gratitude to particularly you three men for kicking off that whole thing, because you guys created, a financially viable opportunity, made WWF and WWE have to raise their prices and,
Yeah, I would give most of that.
environment.
I would give most of that credit to Scott and Kev, but
Yeah.
I mean, I got the ball rolling on it.
Right. The $1 million question that everybody asks is, what's the most iconic faction of all time?
It's tough. I mean, it depends on who you ask, what part of the country you're in.
But to you?
I'm like, when somebody asked me what my favorite was, I say DX, because I had most fun there, made the most money.
Right.
We were crushing it, right? I mean, it was just, everything was amazing. But I think, like, longevity-wise, it's tough, man, because NWO, you see those shirts everywhere.
Yep.
But but then you go and you look and, you got like Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
Doing this after he's knocking somebody out.
Yep. Still to this day, DX, suck it.
So that's a tough question, man.
Yeah. Which is it the NWO for life shirts you see out there, or is it people still, hitting X crotch chop to this day?
Yeah. You see more NWO shirts, but like you see this a lot.
Right. Yeah. Bar none, the number one and number two, whichever order you want to put it in, most iconic.
In my opinion, yeah. I just happen to be in both of them. That's incredible. What is that?
My fifth digit.
What's it on?
Well, that's your first rib and the scalene attached to it. Is rating it up? You filling it up in your head too?
No, just right there at the point.
So you've obviously won a lot of different belts, tag team titles, European title, light heavyweight title, cruiserweight title. Which of those meant the most to you?
European title.
Okay. And then, like I said, you've worked with a lot of guys throughout the years. Who were your favorites to work with? What do you think some of your best matches were with?
Well, my best matches with Bret.
Right.
And we only got to work once.
Man.
Obviously, like all my friends, Scott, Sean, Kev, Paul, like we are great chemistry.
Yeah.
Great chemistry. It was like we knew what each other was thinking. Like it was just, it was crazy.
Hold that spot till it releases. Breathe through it. What do you think was your best gimmick over the years?
never really felt like I had a gimmick. I had names.
You just exaggerated you?
I mean, the kid was the underdog.
Yeah.
I thought it was a really, really good underdog. You know, in the WCW, I was just a really unlikable prick, right? Like,
yeah, you're right. When you talk about gimmicks, it was like, Kevin had to be Oz and all these,
yeah, I was 1, 2, 3 kid. I was still just me, right?
Yeah. You never had to be a plumber or what was Kane's first one where he was
dentist. I was just telling my wife about that.
Professions like
what was his name? It was like Yanko.
Isaac Yankum.
Yeah, Isaac Yankum.
That was the worst era in wrestling ever.
When everybody needed to be a profession.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, there's a tax collector.
Stop.
There was. I'm trying to think. There was a few other ones in the early '90s.
The dumpster.
Yeah.
Garbage.
There was some wild early '90s, man.
You had to have another occupation.
Yeah.
Like, it was like wrestler, not wrestling. It actually fit back then because we could barely pay the bills. We
right.
probably
You almost had to have another
should
job.
have another job, yeah.
She still never got into the games, huh?
It would be a good thing for me now, too. My wife plays them all the time.
Yeah,
She always asks me to play
you stream,
with them.
man.
Twitch.
Yeah, you kill it on Twitch, bro. Playing the wrestling games and
It would be good for my brain, too.
and streaming with all the fans
Yeah.
that are in there. And they'll ask you the same obnoxious questions that I'm asking you.
I haven't heard that obnoxious one yet.
Why is it degeneration? Why isn't it degeneration?
I remember when we got sued when we were invading them all the time.
Uh-huh.
Well, not all the time, but like 3 times.
You're talking about the tank.
The tank, and then we went to CNN Tower and
That's right.
their office. And
Wait, did you really get sued?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I had to do the deposition, and the guy asked me, he goes, "What do you mean?" Suck it. Suck what? You don't even want to know what I told him.
Sir, have you ever seen those lollipop commercials?
Dude, what does that have to do with anything?
He just wanted to get you on the record saying that?
Oh, man. They had nothing. Because one of the vice presidents at Turner Broadcasting let us into CNN.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were about ready to kick us out, and this guy, Dick Cheatham, comes down and goes, "DX, I love those guys." He's like taking pictures with us, giving us backstage, all access passes. We had all access to CNN Tower. It was so great.
So, you've been in the industry forever. You were watching it beforehand.
Yeah.
Your Mount Rushmore with 5 faces. Who goes on your personal?
My personal, okay, like Flair, Funk. I really enjoyed Austin. Even like though we're kind of the same,
Same era.
Man, he was just so great. Yeah, I got a torn labrum. I forgot.
On this right side?
Huh?
On this right side?
Yeah. Right there.
Did that slide in?
The pain's gone.
There we go.
Okay. It's hard in my Mount Rushmore because there's so many greats.
So we have Funk, the Ringmaster.
There it is.
Dusty Rhodes.
I'll go Dusty. Yeah.
Did you say Flair too?
Yeah, for sure. I already said Funk, right?
Yep.
A couple more. 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's do this side. Same thing.
Wow, I don't know who I would put.
Because these are tough questions. Like some
Yeah,
people will be
man.
like, is it on wrestling ability? Is it on impact? Is it on
It's the whole package.
cultural impact? Is it,
Because I don't care how great you were in the ring, man. If I didn't care about you on, when you were talking, it was fun to watch, but
Sure.
it's a different kind of.
Yeah. Keep going.
Do I go like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
In and out. Perfect.
When they care about you, the reactions are different.
right?
They're coming more from the gut, right? Like more visceral.
I'm gonna hook right in here. Pull that elbow straight back. There it was. Okay, same thing here. Down on hip. And pull back. Nice. Just look up a little bit. Yeah.
To the chin a little bit. Deep breath in. And up.
Moving on. Yeah, go right there. There it is. Okay, turn your head to the right all the way. And keep turning. Keep turning. Keep going. Go a little further there. A little further. A little further. Good. Back to center. And let's go left all the way. Keep going. Keep turning. Keep turning. Keep turning. A little further. Good. Back to center. And look up to the ceiling. Alright, back to center. And then push your head straight back.
Back.
Yep. And then look up. Keep looking up. Keep looking up. Keep looking up. And up a little more. A little further. Good. That's one thing I think a lot of like civilians don't understand is how big wrestlers are. You know, they probably think you're little.
I mean, I'm not big, but you know, I used to be 6'1".
Yeah, you know,
Used to be.
you're just standing around guys that are 6'8", 6'9". Go right there. All right.
It's kind of,
You all right?
it's a little bit snug. It's better.
A little bit of, it's gonna be snug for about 3 seconds.
All right, cool.
So
yeah,
just
you can do it again. You can tighten it up.
just bite your teeth down, hold them together, and let your belly really relax. There we go.
Nice. Oh man, I didn't know. I didn't think wasn't sure if you're gonna be able to get it.
You felt that move?
Yeah, and it's like so stoved up in there, right? Like they got that stenosis in there and stuff.
Just that compression, yeah.
Yeah, so
Let you absorb that for a few seconds.
yeah. Oh, what a relief. Been a long time since anyone's done that to me. I swear to God, probably 20 years.
That's what Mick said too. He's like, damn, I haven't had this in about 20 years.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Talk to us a little bit about some of your biggest injuries that you've had in wrestling.
The head injury, like early on I had like this really, I had like a blood clot in my brain.
Mm-hmm. And that was from hitting the floor?
Yeah, I caught a guy, his body weight came down on my head and I hit the floor, yeah. You know, it's not an injury, you can see, like, I could still walk and everything. Like, back then, like, I think you took those kind of injuries for granted, you know?
Right.
So that was the first one, like, when I had my return match with Razor,
Mm-hmm.
was it for the $10,000, I slipped and fell up the top rope and cracked my skull on the floor. Yeah, on the concrete, because he moved the mat.
Oh, man.
The floor mat, he moved it. And so it was bad. So that was a bad one. I had a medial collateral tear that I didn't need fixed. I just took some time off. 94. You know, I broke my neck in like 95, was it?
So tell me about that.
I did a dive onto somebody on the floor in Germany when we were, on a European tour. And he didn't catch me very well. And I landed on my head. And, I didn't realize it was broken until I got back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I went down and I took a bad bump in the ring and they had to stretcher me out. I don't remember anything.
So you blacked out a few times in the ring.
Yeah, well, that one for sure.
Yeah.
I got my bell rung a lot.
Yeah. Were there eras that the bumps were harder than others?
that new generation era,
Yeah,
that ring was like a billiard table, man.
I've heard that.
It was awful. It was awful, man. When I came back to do DX in '97, was it? Or whatever the hell it was, '98. They were just switching the rings out and putting new rings in that were more bump friendly.
Okay. So you said you broke your neck twice.
Yeah, the second time I had surgery.
Okay. And you didn't like lose control of like your arms or legs or any of that during that process?
No, the first time I lost control of everything.
Okay.
But I didn't have to have surgery, weirdly enough.
Huh. And you said you were where?
I was in Germany
Okay.
when the initial
So you were overseas.
thing happened, but then when I went down in the ring, I was in Des Moines, Iowa, at a TV taping. Tag match.
Hmm.
You feel all that scar tissue like up on my SI?
Uh-huh. Most definitely.
Can you lift this leg up for me?
Sure.
Bring it down. Bring it down. Left leg, same thing. Okay. Bring it down. Is that one harder to do than the right side?
This one?
Yeah.
It seems I notice it's a little bit harder now that you mentioned it.
Okay. Raise this one up again.
Softer.
Yeah, it's like,
It's not as effective with this portion as super shoulders. Rip it off.
okay. Try this one again. Okay. And again. Again.
I always fall asleep when I lay down like that.
I do a lot, yeah.
One more time on this one.
Okay, that was better.
I'm having implants put in. Well, they already screwed the implants into my jaw.
Uh-huh.
I actually fell asleep while they were doing it.
Wow. There it was.
Well, you did a really good job, so.
Look right there. Big deep breath and blow it out. Oh God, I'm moving.
Yeah, man, that's tough right there.
Yeah.
That spot. Cramped up a little bit.
So a question you get asked a lot is about like royalties on the DX and NWO gear. Not as much as people think.
Always be more.
It could always be more.
Depends on what it is.
Yeah.
Got, nice check for the WWE 2K22.
Oh, nice.
Last year they had a special NWO one.
Oh, nice. Is that?
The action figures and stuff.
Yeah. I had heard that you got some stock option or whatever when they went public. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have it anymore. But
Right. But you were only a few people who got that.
Yeah. 30,000 shares.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
nice little come up.
Yeah, there was a dozen of us that got stock
Okay,
options.
so only a very select few
Yeah.
that were important enough to the business at least.
Yeah.
And so who decided that? Was that Vince? Was that?
Apparently.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, these are the guys that made this shit. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. So what kind of music does Sean listen to?
I listen to like 70s, 80s on Sirius.
Uh-huh.
I listen to yacht rock. I listen to some Hair Nation.
Okay.
I listen to some of the heavier stuff. I can't remember what stations, but just tons. It depends on the mood I'm in.
What's yacht rock like?
It's all like Christopher Cross.
Okay. Sailing.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a little bit more upbeat than that.
Okay.
But
Tip left.
like Steely Dan.
Okay. I like it.
Tons of Steely Dan on there.
Steely Dan?
Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. Cartoons growing up, what were your favorites?
I was just, I just rediscovered it on YouTube. It was called Battle of the Planets.
Okay.
When I was a kid.
I don't know that one.
No, and it was. We also called it G-Force, but like if you know, you know.
I know Captain Planet.
No, this is way cooler.
This is way
than
cooler?
Captain
Okay.
Planet.
You guys trying to make me recycle and shit?
Yeah, it
you
was
know?
like a Japanese anime that they, do
Oh, okay.
American, English
know this one?
voiceovers.
Is it with like the birds?
Yeah.
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 The helmets each.
And that one little guy had
okay.
this bolo weapon, and yeah, it was great.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the best.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah.
I'm missing out. What else?
I still like Hong Kong Phooey a lot, man. Yeah.
All right. How you feeling there?
Good.
Up and up?
Yeah.
Standing up tall for sure.
Is my shoulder still uneven? Is there any way of fixing that?
Did you bring these?
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, it's closer now for sure.
Is it?
Yeah. So bring your right ear down to your right shoulder and back to center. And again. Your personal Mount Rushmore movies.
Oh, wow. I tell you, when I was a kid, it was Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
There you go. Raspado.
Yeah.
All right, go and look straight up again. Get in there. Yeah. Everybody's favorite, the sternocleidomastoid asteroid.
They used to be actually much bigger. Now I got a pencil neck.
No, you don't.
Well, compared to what I used to, I never had a big fat neck like some of the guys. But
Right. Who's got the biggest neck?
man, like some,
Goldberg, maybe, or
well, he's got, yeah, right? Like this on him is huge, right?
yeah.
Kurt-
Stunning Steve.
Austin's got some big old meaty legs
Kurt.
too. Yeah.
Worst injury you've seen?
I was in a gorilla position. We were ready to go out for my match when Draws got paralyzed.
Yeah, because people, the fans and stuff to forget like how quickly things can go wrong. There's a lot of broken necks, man.
Yeah.
A lot of broken necks.
Yeah.
Both hands here. I'm gonna lock in there. Elbows down. And look up. Oh. Not too much, huh? Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. A little further. A little further. There we go. Back to center. Now go left again. There it is.
Yeah. I see you do this to some people and they do not like it.
not that bad?
Some big tough guys, dude. I'm like, oh my God, come on.
Keep going left. There we go. A little further. Nice. Now look left. You can see me now?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, go right. Not so much. Keep going. A little further. A little more.
I used to get occipital nerve blocks.
Oh yeah. For headaches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would just kind of,
Go right again. There we go. I see you. You see me now both ways?
yeah.
Yeah. The left's real good. Stop right there. Now go right all the way. There it is. Not bad.
Dun, 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 dun.
How you go?
Great.
Pretty good?
Yeah, fantastic.